Stop scrolling. Stop thinking. Simply breathe and listen with your spirit. If your eyes are fixed on this screen and your heart is racing a bit quicker, know that you did not come upon this message by mistake. This is the heavenly summons. Through the hallowed channel of God connection, the cosmos has organized a confluence of time, space, and spirit to provide a coded communication straight to your consciousness. This isn't for the masses. This is not for spiritual seekers or casual observers. This is a secret letter from the divine, sealed with cosmic purpose, and it has now reached the precise soul that has been calling out for it in the quiet depths of the night. You've been silently bearing unseen loads, learning the art of the brave face, and telling the whole world that you're fine, even while your soul murmurs, aches, and nudges you, reminding you with a constant thrum of energy that something is terribly, unshakably wrong. You're not broken. You're about to break through. This message is not for people who enjoy the undeserved luxury of living a life of leisure, untested and unquestioned. This is a holy communion for light fighters, quiet grinders, and those who have been toiling in the darkness of their own inner worlds. It is for you, the one who has persistently, tirelessly done the difficult, sometimes painful, inner work. You have been mending ancestral pain, addressing your own shadows, and creating a garden of progress in utter solitude, all without an audience, praise, or a single word of acknowledgement from the outer world. So, if you are not one of the chosen, if you have not been through the fire, this message may not be completely understood. It may seem like lyrical gibberish. But if you've been experiencing bone-deep exhaustion, a weariness that sleep cannot alleviate, not because you're weak or on the wrong track, but because God chose you for a soul mission so demanding that most people will never be able to comprehend it, then keep listening with every fiber of your being. There is a fundamental secret to your path that nearly no one tells you, a reality buried in plain sight. The message you are going to hear is more than simply a list of words or soothing facts. It is a vibrational key, a coded frequency, or a divine activation sequence that has been specially created to enter your conscious consciousness at the precise, cosmically ordained instant. And for you, chosen soul, the time of activation has arrived, culminating in the energy of tomorrow, July 24th. This date is not random. It is an energy doorway, a line in the sand drawn by the divine, indicating the completion of your holy preparation and the start of your irrefutable emergence. Perhaps you believe you have done all humanly possible. You have prayed, thought, journaled, and healed. You've attempted every right action and taken every piece of spiritual advice, yet nothing in your exterior world seems to change, crack, or break through. If you're on the verge of giving up, don't quit now. Do not give up for the sake of your soul. There is a great, divine purpose why this has all happened, a cause that has been carefully kept concealed from you until now. You may look at your life and feel you are stuck, stagnant, or failing. But, in reality, you have been going through a deep and arduous process of heavenly preparation. This may be a tough fact to embrace, particularly when it seems and feels like everyone else is going ahead, receiving blessings and enjoying their achievements, while you are left behind, spinning your wheels in a muck of uncertainty and delay. But what if I told you you are not behind at all? What if you were never forgotten, disregarded, or skipped over by God? You were being carefully and painstakingly positioned with the utmost care of a heavenly architect for the exact thing you have prayed for, sobbed for, and desired for with all your heart. That gift, that reality, that next level of your existence is so tremendous and holy that it requires you to be stronger, wiser, more robust, and spiritually mature in order to accept and maintain it. And the version of you that was created in the flames of quiet and isolation is finally emerging. Every closed door represented heavenly protection rather than rejection. The universe's terrible quiet was not punishment, but rather a hallowed place for your soul to discover its own voice. All of the diversions were sacrosanct reroutes. All of the waiting was not a delay, but rather a divine calibration of your energy field. It was not arbitrary. It was the ideal alignment. It was a heavenly calibration. You didn't destroy your path or disrupt your divine purpose. You just were not cleared by the skies to proceed to the following level until now. Your soul needed to finish its renovations. That is why this moment, this message, and the sensation in your body right now seem different. Because it's different. Being underestimated was not a sad side note in your tale. Rather, it was the required, fundamental setting for the miracle that is about to occur in your life. Let us tell the naked, unvarnished truth. For years, if not your whole life, you have been neglected, passed over, misunderstood, and even mocked. People looked at you, saw the peaceful surface, and then disregarded you, unable or unwilling to recognize the raging inferno of potential, power, and purpose that you had. Some may have gotten a glimpse, a flicker of your inner fire, and found it so disturbing, so terrifying, that they had to turn away or attempt to suppress it. You've walked this world as the quiet one, the excessively sensitive soul, the profound thinker, and the misfit that never seems to fit in. You were the underappreciated employee, the misunderstood family member, the buddy who was constantly giving but seldom receiving. Here's the bit that no one ever talks about: being underestimated. Early validation would have completely wrecked your heavenly purpose. Think about it. If everyone had recognized your genius from the start and cheered your every step, you could have settled for a life of performance rather than going on a path of true, deep soul development. Their continual approbation would have become a cage, suffocating your development and restricting you to their expectations. The cosmos, in its infinite wisdom and compassion for you, withheld it, not as a punishment, but as the most effective kind of protection. It was protecting the holy, fragile thing that was still developing inside you, much like a mother bird defending her nest. This was not a rejection, it was a holy redirection. You were concealed by God not because you were worthless, but because you are a priceless treasure. You were set aside. What you hold inside your soul is not intended for casual public display or a fast social media post. It is a powerful, world-changing force destined for divine moment and staging. You did not lose years. You were being formed. You were being purified in the sacred crucible of silence. And now, the long, deep quiet is finally, seismically cracking apart. When you rise, as you are now, those who never saw you coming, those who never gave you a second thought, will be in complete, jaw-dropping wonder. Because your breakthrough will not be grandiose, pompous, or boastful. It will be subtle, solid, and so evident that it will change the whole environment around you. People who formerly neglected you, or perhaps pitted you, will be left speechless, unable to grasp what their eyes see. They'll realize, with a sickening sensation, that they missed something genuinely exceptional, a miracle in the making that was there in front of them the whole time. You were underestimated for a divine reason, so that when your time came, there would be no doubt, no argument, and no place for debate. Only pure, unadulterated amazement at your irrefutable arrival. Even at your quietest, most alone times, when you felt completely alone and forgotten by the world, the cosmos looked over you with the loving gaze of a loyal guardian. This message is intended exclusively for those who choose compassion over the simpler, more rational option of bitterness. It's for individuals who remain sensitive, compassionate, and open-hearted after being terribly injured, deceived, or abandoned. This message, this time, and this anointing of grace are all yours. You are one of those really uncommon people who provided love even when your hands were empty and your heart was suffering. You are the one who kept showing up for others and pouring into them, even when the favor was never reciprocated and your own well was going empty. You might have allowed life turn you harsh and cynical. You had every reason, excuse, to construct impenetrable barriers around your heart. You might have persuaded yourself that it was worthless and dumb to continue giving, caring, and trusting in people's good intentions. But you picked a greater route. You choose a path of Christ-like love. You remain kind. You remain gentle. You remain good. And that decision, that succession of apparently little, invisible decisions made day after day, even if it went entirely undetected by the world, has karmic and spiritual implications that are deeper and more broad than you may ever comprehend. Not every act of your limitless generosity returned to you. Not yet. Not all excellent deeds were recognized, praised, or acknowledged. But everything, every prayer you uttered for another, every dollar you donated when you were in need, every time you listened with compassion, was observed by something much bigger, ageless, and absolutely accurate. The cosmos, spirit, God, and all of the unseen forces of light that are silently and passionately rooting for you saw it all. They logged everything in the cosmic ledger, every unselfish decision, every moment of silent kindness. You always came through when it was the most difficult. Nothing went to waste. Nothing was in vain. There is a quiet, meaningful prize on its way to you. It will not reveal itself with blaring trumpets or dramatic fanfare. It will appear with the subtlety of a dawn and the softness of a balmy breeze. But when it comes, it will seem so perfect, so correct, so divinely choreographed, that it will feel as if life is finally bending down to whisper, "I heard your silent prayers. I saw your faithful heart. It is time." You never had to battle, claw, or manipulate to show your worthiness. You were always enough, just as you are. And now, for the first time in what seems like an eternity, your outer reality is going to rise up and properly represent the high, beautiful, and loving frequency of your genuine energy. There is something good, holy, and intended for you that you do not have to push, pursue, or battle for. It is coming to you because you have already earned it. You have kept your lovely heart open in a world that has attempted to shut it down. Soon, you'll realize why the wait was so long, why the journey was so difficult, and why now, and only now, is the moment your life offers you the glorious green light you've been looking for. A divine invitation to the God Connection family. Quick pause, lovely spirit family. If this precious message strikes a chord deep within your soul, if these words seem as if they were written specifically for you, it's because you're a member of the global community of light we're creating here at God Connection, and your energy is essential to our mission. To help us continue to anchor this divine work on earth and reach out to other chosen souls who are feeling lost and alone, please take a holy minute right now to subscribe and enable all alerts. This means you'll never miss a miraculous communication. Furthermore, if your heart feels a strong desire to collaborate with our ministry on a deeper, more real level, we welcome you to become an active participant in this mission. You may do this by clicking the Super Thanks button directly below the video. A $10 gift, or whatever amount you feel compelled to donate, is a very powerful energy exchange. It is more than simply a gift. You are planting a seed of light, voting for truth in an era of deceit, and directly supporting our capacity to develop and distribute these life-affirming messages with people all over the world. Your support means more than words can express. Now let's continue our trip together. Remember that your speed is divine, and your trip follows God's holy schedule. In the contemporary spiritual world, you are continually overwhelmed with messages encouraging you to do more and be more. You're advised to increase your vibration, align your chakras, heal all of your scars, maintain a high frequency at all times, ascend, awaken, and manifest, on repeat, forever. Somewhere along this well-intentioned but sometimes wrong journey, that message may have left you feeling perpetually behind. It's as if you're losing an unseen spiritual race, and you're not getting to the finish line quickly enough. It may instill a subtle but damaging sense of spiritual insufficiency. But here's a freeing reality that practically no one expresses aloud. There is no race. There is no finishing line. There is no higher dimension you must struggle your way into in order to be worthy, legitimate, or loved by God. You do not have to rush to enlightenment or achieve some impossible state of human perfection before you can be considered spiritual. You do not have to feel pure, blissful, and overflowing with light every second of every day to be in perfect alignment with your divine destiny. You do not have to spiritually bypass your human emotions by rising above them or claiming that everything is always love and light, when what you are really experiencing is perplexity, sadness, irritation, even holy fury. Your humanity is not a weakness. Your emotions are neither a mistake nor an indication of low vibration. Your human existence, with all of its messiness, anguish, and beauty, is the true, holy route to your awakening. You're not behind. You're not slow. You're not broken. You are perfectly on time for your own, custom-designed soul adventure. There is no last level to conquer, no ultimate enemy to vanquish, and no urgent urgency to enter the light. The light is already there, inside and around you, accompanying you every step of the road, even when you can't feel it. Standing totally motionless may sometimes result in the most profound improvement. Resting profoundly and unashamedly might be the most precious act of devotion. Sitting with your suffering without attempting to cure it, or allowing yourself to feel lost and detached, may be fertile ground for actual integration, healing, and long-term progress. Your awakening does not necessarily manifest as heavenly pyrotechnics, angelic visits, or unexpected, spectacular breakthroughs. More often, it manifests itself in the quiet, mundane, and profoundly holy moments. Crying alone in your car and finally letting go, making the difficult but necessary decision to leave toxic cycles and relationships, or simply choosing your own inner peace over endlessly trying to prove yourself to people who will never see you. That too is holy. That, too, exemplifies spiritual enlightenment. You are not on earth to achieve enlightenment for the approval or affirmation of others. You are here to experience it, to embrace it, on your own terms and in your own holy pace. Even on days when doubt creeps in like a chilly fog, and you feel numb, uninspired, or entirely detached from your mission, your divine greatness is certain. It is absolute and unchangeable. In reality, it is in those times of doubt that your spirit silently whispers to you, telling you that you are still holy, cherished, and enough. Allow yourself to take a deep, cleansing breath. Give yourself radical permission to halt, relax, and allow the enormous pressure to be on time or further along melt away. You're not behind. You are just holy, and you're in the holy process of becoming. You've used so much of your valuable life energy defending others. From an early age, you've been the strong one, the emotional anchor, and the quiet energy holder in every place you enter. You are the one who takes the initiative when no one else would, the one who bears others' problems without complaint. You have carried the sorrow, quiet, uncertainty, and even chaos of people around you, sometimes so persistently and for so long that you have entirely forgotten the one person who needed your protection the most, the younger version of yourself. That inner kid, the one who wasn't picked for the team, had to mature much too quickly and never felt completely protected or seen. They remain with you, not as a shattered relic of the past, but as a living presence, patiently waiting for someone to eventually turn to them and say, with firm conviction, "You don't have to fight anymore. The war is over. I am here now." That person is you. You've grown up now. You are the fighter, protector, and loving parent that you have always needed. You now have the strength, resources, and insight to provide yourself with the care, security, and nurturing that young one needed but never got. You have poured unlimited healing into others, ensuring that they felt seen, heard, and protected. But How long has it been since you've done the same for your most vulnerable self? This path entails more than just applying spiritual bandages to old wounds. It is about intentionally and purposefully establishing a secure, warm, and loving environment inside your own self. A hallowed inner temple in which your inner child is not forced to perform for love, walk on eggshells, or constantly brace for rejection. It's about creating a sanctuary where you can finally, genuinely relax, knowing you're secure because you're now in your own loving arms. Whisper to yourself right now what no one else has. You are safe here with me. You don't have to survive anymore. You are allowed to simply live, to play, to be joyful. The world may not have given you the security you craved as a child, but now, as a powerful and conscious adult, you have the strength not only to survive your past, but to alchemize it, transforming its leaden pain into golden wisdom. You may now deliberately build a totally new world for yourself, from the inside out. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, abandoned, or worthless, don't ignore that hurting voice inside that begs for consolation. Turn toward it. Sit with that emotion. Embrace the part of you that still aches and tell them, with all your love, that the fight is ended and that profound, permanent peace is now available. You've been carrying anguish for so long. It is time to become a peacemaker instead, especially if a deep feeling of despair has been dragging you down recently. I'm talking about those days when you simply want to turn everything off, not in a spectacular, theatrical way, but in a quiet, soul-deep tiredness. The sort of fatigue that comes from inside, rather than from your physical body. When you hear that insidious suggestion, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I'm not cut out for this, realize that voice is not the end of your tale. It's a sign that you're on the verge of something amazing. That profound agony within is not about you breaking down, but about you breaking open. It is the tremendous pressure that builds up before a big breakthrough. It is not a sign to quit up, but rather irrefutable confirmation that change is so near, so immediate, that you can physically feel it pushing against the walls of your old restrictions. You've done so much deep inner work that your own development has become invisible to you. Healing and resilience have become the new normal. You've surpassed so many levels, healed so many layers of ancestral and personal pain, and endured so much in heroic quiet that you've nearly forgotten what it's like to win. But the breakthrough, the victory, the magnificent moment of arriving is closer than you think. You don't have to keep proving yourself, hunting for signs, or attempting to force clarity. Sometimes, the moment you let go, not give up, but truly submit to God's plan, is when life finally picks you up and carries you easily to where you've been struggling to go for years. That sudden, unexplainable need to try something new, to contact someone you haven't talked to in a long time, or to radically change your daily routine is not random. That is the dynamic energy of change rising from your soul. The cosmos is saying, you are ready for more now. If you have recently felt unusually numb, it is also a potent indicator. Because sometimes breakthroughs happen in the form of deep, sacred quiet rather than thunder and lightning. The world becomes silent. The air itself seems to change, and you sense peculiar unrest in your body, as if your spirit knows something great is about to happen long before your conscious mind can grasp it. You did not squander your time. You have not been forgotten or abandoned by life. The parts of your destiny are aligning in ways you can't see, silently gathering behind the veil. So, if you've been tempted to give up, to walk away from everything, please remember that it's only because you're on the verge of a miracle. The door is going to swing fully open. All you have to do is remain with yourself and trust God for a little longer. Trust that everything is developing in divine order, even if you can't see the whole picture now. Being caught between worlds causes real, physical agony. You are not exactly where you once were, but you are not quite where you want to be. Even if your surrounds seem to be the same or more bewildering and unfamiliar than before, you can feel the shift in your bones, in your DNA. But this liminal area, this uncertainty, is the holy gateway to your next chapter. Stay present in it. Hold yourself tenderly, knowing that every minute brings you closer to where you really belong. And in that odd, liminal middle ground when nothing seems definite, it is normal to begin to doubt yourself, to wonder, did I make a mistake? Did I take the wrong turn? Let me tell you with every fiber of my being that you did not. What you're experiencing is not failure. It is a vacuum, the hallowed, unsettling, and often misunderstood gap between your previous life and your new one. The emptiness is not empty. It is fruitful, with many possibilities. It seems sluggish, heavy, and out of rhythm, as if the cosmos has abruptly gone quiet and ceased responding your calls. But behind the deafening hush, an invisible, cosmic reordering is taking place. A heavenly orchestration is underway that you cannot yet comprehend with your five senses. You are not lost, even if your heart longs for understanding. You are not off track. You are merely being divinely redirected with loving, GPS-like accuracy towards something more than you could have ever asked for. Something you haven't even named yet. Reflect on the most crucial, life-changing events that influenced you. Did they ever make complete sense as they unfolded? Usually, it is only in retrospect that the pieces of the jigsaw come together and the divine meaning emerges from the chaos. Clarity seldom emerges during a meaningful transition. You may feel as if nothing is clicking right now. Relationships may change abruptly. Possibilities may stagnate, and your own emotions may oscillate wildly between euphoric optimism and devastating doubt. But none of this indicates that you are doomed or that everything is coming apart. Your reality's spiritual nervous system is rebooting and reorganizing itself under the surface with calm, intentional, and divine aim. Even the diversions, delays, stops, and unopened doors are part of your unique, precious design. The setback you are so furious about today may turn out to be the precise thing that saved you from hurt or disappointment you did not expect. The stillness you are experiencing right now might be just what you needed to hear your authentic voice again. And that continual, gnawing sense of being off track, it might be that subtle, heavenly direction is bringing you to a version of yourself who is braver, bolder, and much more connected with your soul's mission than you have ever been. Trusting this process isn't always easy, particularly when it seems that the world is taking everything away from you, leaving you with nothing but raw, empty emptiness. The truest magic, however, takes place in that nothingness, that raw, open space. That is when the ego finally lets go of the steering wheel and the soul takes over to guide your life in a completely new path. Sometimes you will not obtain the answers you are looking for. Instead, you will discover the fortitude to continue going on without them. And it is an even bigger miracle. So, take a big breath. Give up the obsessive need to correct, control, or figure out the whole situation. You are not supposed to have everything all planned out. Your path is not broken. It's just incomplete. And soon, probably sooner than you think, all of your uncertainty and effort will crystallize into a heavenly plan so flawless and lovely that you will understand with tears in your eyes that it could never have occurred otherwise. Events that seem to be arbitrary, unkind, or unjust will eventually show themselves to be the most profound, loving setup of your whole existence. There is a widespread, restricting concept in many spiritual circles that to be genuinely awake or holy means having no desire for more, accepting as little as possible, and finding satisfaction in simplicity and scarcity alone. You may have been taught that living a really spiritual life requires little more than air, water, and possibly a meditation app on your phone. But let's be really honest here. Wholeness is not achieved by depriving oneself of pleasure, comfort, or heavenly plenty. That is not spirituality. It is just another sort of self-imposed spiritual incarceration disguised in incense and quiet suffering. You are free to desire more. not out of avarice or a sense of emptiness, but as a result of spiritual growth. You are free to seek more than merely survival. You are permitted, and even encouraged by the divine, to wish to prosper. You are free to want fullness, overflowing pleasure, soul-shaking love, profound satisfaction, and, yes, even money and prominence. Not for your own ego, but for the innumerable lives you will affect. God did not choose you to live a little, muffled, or hidden existence. You were selected to shine so brilliantly, to be so fortunate, that you encourage others to emerge from the shadows and claim their own light. Society, and even religion, may have taught you that seeking more leads to selfishness, ungratefulness, or materialism. But what if your hunger for more is the cosmos itself, God, beckoning you onward to your highest destiny? Wanting more freedom, peace, riches, love, and visibility is not the same as hoarding or bragging. It is about totally embodying your divine mission. It is about having the means to give freely, create without constraints, uplift others, and eventually establish a life that feels as wonderful on the inside as it does on the outside. Shrinking oneself is not spiritual. Apologizing for having large aspirations is not holy. Playing small does not make you humble. It only dims your light and deprives the world of your unique abilities. True humility is the capacity to accept your God-given authority and to stand tall in your truth without diminishing others. It is the capacity to be charismatic and bold while maintaining a gentle, open, and caring heart. The fact is that your passion is sacrosanct. Wanting does not imply avarice. Rather, it indicates spiritual life. It is to connect with the bright, pulsating life force of your own soul's desire. It indicates you are rising to a life in which you will not accept half-hearted love, half-baked aspirations, or a dull, bland existence. The cosmos will not judge you for desiring more. In fact, it honors your bravery in asking for it. You are courageous for wanting a better life, and you deserve whatever your heart desires. This is your opportunity to seize it, to totally and unashamedly embrace the riches, love, and joy that have always been intended for you. Your need for more, for a deeper purpose, a larger life, a greater love, and the freedom to eventually grow, is not a character weakness. It is not something to be denied, questioned, or apologized for. That constant push on your heart that whispers, "There is more," is your soul's compass. It is a heavenly device, calibrated by God, that will guide you to development, wealth, and the greater reality you came here for. So, if you've been silently waiting for some type of validation, some cosmic permission slip to finally pursue a larger, more beautiful life, consider this moment to be an incontrovertible sign. This is it. You are not betraying your soul by striving for more, seeking to climb beyond where you are. In truth, you are fulfilling a sacred promise made by your soul long before you were born, to completely awaken, to find your true capabilities, and to live a life that respects every ounce of your divine potential. This moment, this holy pause, this pulse, this quiet accord between your soul and the cosmos, serves as evidence. It is the precious prize for all you have silently suffered, as well as the honesty you have put into each step of the road. Many individuals spend their whole lives waiting for the right time, for some mystical, external indication to come, for everything to fall into place flawlessly. They wait for the universe to speak out and say, "Yes, now is your time." But practically no one tells you that the sign you've been looking for isn't a dazzling flash of insight or a message written in the sky. It's not always spectacular or evident. The true, unequivocal proof has been with you all along. It is the calm, unshakable tenacity that has seen you through every storm, grief, and unanswered prayer. You didn't merely come upon this message. There are no accidents or chance happenings in a divinely planned cosmos. Your trip has been more meaningful than you could have imagined. Every detour, delay, and disappointment was not a deviation from your destiny, but rather a divine rerouting that led you precisely to this moment of waking. This isn't simply another stop on the journey. This marks the holy arrival. The fact that you are still here, showing up, and keeping your heart gentle after all you have gone through is not average. That is your soul's communication to the heavens that you are prepared, that you have now matured enough to receive, retain, and appreciate the enormous benefits for which you have prayed. Think about it. You've matured into someone who can make room for others even while your own world is unsteady. You've learned to trust the process, not because it always made sense, but because a part of you refused to let uncertainty crush your soul. You've learned to walk with humility and grace, to maintain your amazement even as you became wiser. And even on the most difficult days, you never actually stopped listening. All of this, every secret win, has led up to this. You are not just watching your mission emerge. You are the live, breathing embodiment of it. Every silent choice you took with honesty became a message that the universe wrote in your name. You do not need to continue pursuing indicators. The message you seek is there in your entire being. The breakthrough you've been waiting for doesn't happen in the future. You've been living it all along. Sometimes the greatest miracles are as simple as refusing to give up. So let yourself to feel it. This marks the arrival, the spot where your spirit may finally rest in the knowledge that you are and have always been enough. The really amazing aspect is that this moment does not have to feel unusual in it to be extraordinary. There are no trumpets, only a deep inner understanding that says, you were never lost. You've simply been arriving all along. When the world around you was quiet, your inner truth became louder. The change you are experiencing now is not something the world handed you. It is something you earned every time you chose love over fear. July 24th is more than simply a date. It is the first morning in which you can finally see the results of your personal change. It's the day you discover you are the message you've been waiting for. Every action involved holy preparation. And now, on the verge of the following season, you may finally welcome yourself home. This is your time. The door is open. You are prepared to not only receive, but also to embody your breakthrough. This point in your life is no longer about waiting. It is about living as if the message has already been delivered. Because it has. The universe has been giving you signals throughout your life, patiently waiting for you to notice. The key change is recognizing that you were never unconnected. You just lost trust in your capacity to perceive signs. Life became loud. The world educated you to distrust subtle nudges. The thrill of exhilaration, the weight of warning. These were never just sensations. They were your heavenly guiding system communicating long before you recognized the term intuition. You've always been tuned in, wired to hear the precious knowledge the cosmos was giving just for you. You learned to question it somewhere, to be more rational. But you've always known. You noticed red flags before every betrayal. You could feel an energy change before each transfer. That was not anxiousness. It was your inner compass, your soul attempting to gain your attention. You don't need anybody else to interpret the indications for you. You've already been reading the texts. You've already observed the patterns. This intuitive talent is not new. It is an old truth returning, a holy component of your original creation. You are now being urged to regain that inner wisdom. The world is becoming noisier, but your calm, unwavering wisdom will always shine through. It never yells, but it has never deceived you. It has always guided you towards your highest benefit. It's time to quit waiting for outside affirmation. Your inner knowledge is more than a guess. It is a holy language, a heavenly conversation between you and God. It's time to let yourself utter it freely and without apologies. Think about all the times you were led through the impossible. You already understand how to navigate the unfamiliar. Rely on that soft knowledge again. Because right now, that intuition you've been questioning is the precise compass that will guide you straight to your destiny. This is the reawakening of your original tongue, your greatest strength, and the key to all that follows. Final prayer and call to our luminous community. Final call to action. Dear Father, on behalf of our God Connection family, I pray for the strengthening of my faith and the faith of everyone who has heard this message today. Help me and all of us to trust you with our whole being, even when there is no tangible proof. Let us faith in your eternal, loving presence, knowing that you will never hurt us. We affirm the validity of your word that your intentions for us are thoughts of success rather than harm, to provide us with a future and hope. Thank you, kind and everlasting Father, for always hearing our voice. We pray to you in the holy and majestic name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your unconditional love and divine provision. We are forever thankful for your presence in our life and the richness you provide. If this film touched your heart, please show your support for this ministry of light. Like this video, subscribe to the God Connection channel, and share it with anybody else who you believe should hear this vital and relevant message. Please leave a remark on your trip. Declare, I am ready to ground this energy. Please let us know how you're preparing for your own successful homecoming. Someone else is hoping for a sign, and your testimony might be it. Finally, if you would want to help our work and become a partner in sharing God's message over the world, please consider giving via this Super Thanks button. This tool enables you to donate $10 or whatever amount you like, directly supporting our capacity to always develop our material and provide the finest spiritual sustenance possible. No present is too tiny. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your gift allows us to reach more people and provide hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for additional amazing insights into the indications that indicate you are the chosen one. We've appreciated sharing this precious trip with you. Thank you for sticking with us to the end. Keep blazing brightly and face your fate with unshakable confidence. We'll see you next time. Blessings to all lovely beings from the enlightened wisdom of God Connection.